Offensively on the point. Let's see how they play this.
Here is Young, finds his spot. Young on the floater, puts it in. Trae Young with a miraculous shot.
Yeah, that happened. The New York Knicks lost game 1. I'm frustrated. I'm very frustrated. Not worried. I'm a little frustrated. It brings back bad memories. The last time the New York Knicks were in the playoffs, in the second round against the Indiana Pacers, after having so much confidence and feeling so good after beating the Celtics in the first round, the Knicks went down to lose their first game in the series, which ended up biting us in the butt. But I'm not trying to say this is that series. This is a completely different series. We lost 107-105, but there was a bevy of things that went wrong for us in this game that if they had gone a little bit differently, we probably would have had a better chance at closing this game after the great energy that was provided by the crowd and the good game that was played by the team. So that's what we want to talk about today. I want to talk to you guys off the ledge because that's what CK does oh so much. I want to let you guys know that it is okay. There was a lot of factors in this game that Tom Thibodeau can and will adjust for us to move on to game 2 and the rest of this series. I gotta hand it to the Hawks. You know, they did well. I'm sure that there's going to be, you know, all 5 of those Hawks fans chirping in my comment section that I've never heard of or never seen in my life. I saw a few of them in my video two videos ago, and they can be in here like, yeah, get that, take that, pew pew, Hawks baby, yeah, the Knicks are nothing, it's all a fluke. They only got lucky because Julius Randle's good. To me, the argument makes absolutely no sense. I saw someone legit comment to me and tell me that the Knicks only got lucky because Julius Randle was good. So does that mean that the Hawks got lucky because Trae Young is good? I don't understand that argument. But all right, Hawks fans, you can have that first one. But I'm going to let you guys know. You guys should listen up too. We shouldn't be worried. We'll be all right. We'll see y'all on Wednesday. Run the intro. What's going on, CK Crew? It's your boy CK2K, and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Do not forget to like this video, join the Discord, and it is Monday, so we will be streaming tonight. Make sure you come through and enjoy the streams over on Twitch. Go follow me over on Twitch. I want to get right into the video, but first I want to let you guys know today is the last day for the 20% off deal for all of you CK Crew people here on the channel. Every subscriber, today's the last day for the deal. You guys go over to the CK shop and you guys can get whatever you want from the merch store for 20% off by entering the code PWORD, and you can get whatever you want on the store. The link is in the description below. Today's the last day for that 20% deal. But if you want to go and hit that nice little join button down there, there might be a little promotion waiting for you at the CK Crew members. So head on over to the CK shop where you guys can get the new designs that have dropped right there. You can say P word, you can say the Big 15. We got the Let's Get It hats as well as the Let's Get It merchandise. Go over there, get your merch, use the promo code P word. All right, I'm done. Now let's talk about how we dropped game 1. Now I gotta hand it to the Hawks. I'm gonna completely hand it to the Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks did exactly what they were supposed to do against a team with such a loud crowd we had. Trae Young went out there and he played solid throughout the game. I felt like in the beginning of the game he was doing a better job at controlling the pace, letting the game come to him, and then that second half he did a great job at striking when it made sense. 32 points, 10 assists, as well as 7 rebounds. He was a triple-double tickler for them on the other side. Kevin Huerter with 3 for 7 from the field. John Collins, who I felt like who did okay in the beginning of the game, really fell off a little bit at the end. DeAndre Hunter's defense was great. Clint Capella does what Clint Capella does. Bogdan Bogdanovic hitting big shots. The Hawks did what the Hawks were supposed to do in that game. When you're away and you knew the crowd was going to be loud, you have to go out there and play the way that the Hawks did. So I'm going to give them their credit. They impressed me. Now, on the other side of that, yes, there were some calls at the end of the game that were a bit iffy, but when you go into the game knowing that you're going to have Tony Brothers and Ed Malloy being your referees for game 1 of the playoffs, when you haven't been to the playoffs in years, both teams haven't been in the playoffs in quite some time, I knew there was going to be some shenanigans going on. There was some not very playoff calls called in that game, and hopefully that's something that gets cleaned up. But at the end of the day, Trae Young is probably going to get away with whatever Trae Young gets, and we have to adapt to that situation. I'm just saying, though, RJ Barrett, hands up. You get a foul called. I understand there might have been an initial contact at the beginning of it, but Excuse me, I thought it was playoffs, but I guess it doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there. I watched 2 days straight of physical basketball where a lot more contact was made and there was no calls being made because that's just how the playoffs work. But with us, it's not the same thing. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Reggie Bullock, who has been a very key contributor to our success, especially in the last 2 to 3 months of basketball, was a no-show in tonight's game. And even in this game where he was a no-show, he was still 3 for 9 from the field, which is not terrible, but it's not Reggie Bullock status because though he was 3 for 9 from the field, he was 0 for 5 from the three-point line, and that has not been done from him at all this season. So with his lack of offensive play, it meant that it was going to result in a lack of minutes. He only played 18 minutes, and we know even though Reggie Bullock it can be an ace for us at the three-point line and be an ace for us scoring, the defense is probably one of the biggest parts of his game that has been very, very, very helpful for us this season. And when you have to sit him out because his shot's not going down, I feel like that takes away from the defense a little bit. But luckily, where he lacked, we saw Alec Burks come off the bench and provide. Alec Burks has been an ace for us as well this season coming off the bench. He played 26 minutes last night, 9 for 13 shooting, 3 for 5 from the field, giving us 27 points and 4 assists. Alec Burks did a good job, not only just being offensively inclined, but also helping us bring the ball up and doing what Elfrid Payton wasn't really up to par at doing, and giving Derrick Rose some time off and give him some rest, because Derrick Rose played 37 minutes in game 1, played tremendous in those 37 minutes, but we cannot have Derrick Rose do that on a consistent basis throughout this round, and if we're lucky to get out of this round in the second round. We need Derrick Rose to be playing around the 33-minute mark because that's just where he is right now with his knees. We need to make sure that he is healthy going throughout. And that comes to my next point, the Elfrid Payton point. Now, I understand people are going to say, well, you only played 8 minutes, CK. Leave Elfrid Payton alone. And you're right. You're 100% correct. Elfrid Payton was pulled immediately when he was shown to A, not do well defensively, and B, which I thought was most important, was damn near not even being guarded on the offensive end, where it became 5-on-4 quite literally. There was situations where Elfrid Payton was being left wide open, challenging us to get him to shoot the ball, and he went 0 for 3 from the field last night. And then on top of that, we gave away a few open looks to Trae Young. Luckily, he missed them, but you cannot lose Trae Young defensively to start off these games. He's not going to miss those in the next following game, so we had to swap out Elfrid Payton as soon as possible. And it's crazy because, you know, though Elfrid Payton gets the brunt of a lot of complaints, at the same time, you know, for him to start these games, those are crucial points of the game. I understand the saying is it's not about how you start the game, it's about how you finish, but in these games, we saw it towards the end of the regular season, and we saw in this game here, when you're playing catch up for the majority of the game, you don't get your first lead in a basketball game until the third quarter. That is putting yourself at a disadvantage. Now, I'm not going to solely say this is all Elfrid Payton's fault. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're playing with your chemistry off in the beginning, and then even after subbing him out, and then you're, Derrick Rose coming in, but we're already down by 10 points. Derrick Rose is coming in, and we're trying to play catch up. It's not a good look, especially when you're playing playoff basketball. You cannot give them that kind of handicap. Frank Ntilikina only played 32 seconds out there, and obviously they were for 2 possessions where he was the main defender. Now, I saw a lot of Knicks fans turning in on Frank Ntilikina, which is not an uncommon situation. Frank Ntilikina does something wrong, he's going to get attacked. But to me, I just feel like in normal basketball, you can't knock somebody for one play, especially if you've been on the bench the entire game. As great of a defender as Frank Ntilikina is, hell, as great of a defender as any NBA player may be, from Ben Simmons all the way down to Frank Ntilikina, they're going to have possessions where they're still going to be scored on. Trae Young is an all-star level player. I do believe Frank Ntilikina would have definitely done a greater job at slowing down Trae Young and forcing him to take shots rather than go to the hoop more times than not throughout the game. But in that one possession when Trae Young was already in a groove, you threw a new guy on him, Frank Ntilikina did the best he could, but he did let him go to his strong hand. It is a flaw in Frank's game, but at the same time, if you're playing on one possession, it's hard for me to give him that brunt of the blame there. I think that was more of a Trae Young being in the zone than Frank Ntilikina not playing solid defense. And also, too, it was a little confusing why there was nobody on the second unit after he passed him on the offensive end, but that's neither here nor there. So the point guard play is very important, as you saw in this game. Trae Young was out there able to eat. Derrick Rose, who has been tremendous for us, we know he's not the greatest on the defensive side, so defensively we need to have a solution for Trae Young for the rest of the series. Trae Young is going to have his games. Trae Young is going to be Trae Young, but we have have to do a better job at neutralizing that, whether you want to trap them, double team them. I'm not a fan of either of those, because then I feel like they have the weapons to then get out of it. Trae Young is a playmaker as well. I'm not a fan of trap. I'm not a fan of the double team, because I feel like they're going to get open shots out of that every single time. It's not like he's just a scoring point guard that does not move. He is a guy that can get a double-double every single night in his first ever playoff series. He did it last night, almost got triple-double. So I'm not a fan of the double teams, and I wish that, you know, you threw Frank Ntilikina into rotations a little bit sooner. In a perfect world, I really believe that, especially after how Emmanuel quickly played in his first ever playoff game, I feel confident enough that you can put Derrick Rose in that starting unit and leave the bench to Emmanuel Quickly and Alec Burks, and then slide Frank Ntilikina up in place of Elfrid Payton's minutes. It just makes the most sense. I'd rather take 8 minutes out of Frank Ntilikina than Elfrid Payton at this point. That's not hate. That's not me I'm just being honest. We cannot put ourselves in these holes to begin the third and begin the first quarter. The proof is in the pudding. We got Kenny Smith out there pointing out those flaws on national television. We can say all we want within our fan base, but then you're seeing all these others who are not seeing us for the first time, because you know damn well none of them watch any Knicks games throughout the regular season, seeing us for the first time, and they can point out the problem as well. We need to adjust, and that's one thing Tom Thibodeau does really well, is adjust. I still don't expect him to take Elfrid Payton out of the starting lineup. I'd be very surprised, especially when it comes to playing Frank Ntilikina more minutes. But I think the best solution for us would be to start the game off with Derrick Rose. We need to give ourselves a fighting chance and not play catch up in every single one of these games. But that's just my personal opinion. I feel like point guard play was a big thing. Now, after saying all of that, like I mentioned at the top, although we lost this game, I still feel like there's a lot of pluses to come with us as the series goes on. We did lose this game by only 2 points. It's a rough one, especially coming down the line, stealing the win back, having the energy in the crowd the way we did. We lost by 2 points. Trae Young out there shushing the crowd, looking like a whole dust bunny. So that was neither here nor there, and he did what he was supposed to do. You know, whatever. Trae Young did Trae Young things. But in the game where we lost by only 2 points, and RJ Barrett, who I feel like who played solid tonight, but I feel like could have still done a lot better. I mean, 14 points, 11 rebounds. He was 6 for 15 from the field, but the big stat line that pointed out to me was he was 1 for 6 from the 3-point line. You can tell the jitters were there for both RJ and Julius Randle. They shake those things off. Julius Randle gives us a better night. RJ Barrett gives us a better night. Who knows where we would have been? I feel like there's so many scenarios. Reggie Bullock is able to connect those shots that he's normally making in his sleep. He had a bunch of wide open threes that just were not hitting. They were clanking all over the court. Let's see what happens in the series as the series goes on. We can see if Reggie Bullock turns it around, or maybe he has a Danny Green-esque playoff run. Who knows? But I still feel good about this team, seeing how poorly some situations were, but how we still fought through it as the game went on. And last but not least, I have to give love to my rookies. Obi Toppin, who has been up and down, well, not up and down, who was down and then went up as the season ended, played really solid in his first ever playoff game. He looked ready. He looked like he probably could have played a lot more minutes, and he would have played really well for us. Obi Toppin looked ready, and he was there on occasion. It's like he was at Dayton all over again. It's like these kids, Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickly, feed off of the energy from the Garden, and they provided in those moments. Emmanuel Quickly, in a playoff game, had no fear taking shots without even thinking about it from the 3-point line, doing what Emmanuel Quickly does. So there's a lot of things that we can go on. I went down our entire roster, but the point of the matter is, in this game one where we lost 107-105, I'm not too worried. We do have to respect the Atlanta Hawks. I'm not saying to disrespect the Atlanta Hawks. They played well. They're going to continue to play well. But if they only win that game by 2 points, when a lot of their key players were still doing what a lot of them do, and our key players were not, I feel good about this series. But the Knicks need to make the adjustments. Will Tom Thibodeau make the point guard adjustment? Will Julius Randle be able to turn around in his first ever playoff series? Who knows? We'll see in game 2 on Wednesday. But let me know your thoughts about everything I mentioned in the comments below. This is a place for you guys to let it all hang out on how you felt about this game, how you feel we adjust. Let it all be known in the comments below. But it's been your boy CK. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. Like I mentioned at the top, this is your last chance. Today is the last day to get 20% off on all of the merch at the merch store. Go over there, go to CK Shop, get whatever you want to get, and make sure you add the promo code PWORD so you can get 20% off, unless you want to go down there, hit that little blue button, and join the members, and there might be another promo code there waiting for you guys. Members, don't let them know. That's our secret. All right, it's been your boy CK. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Don't worry, Knicks fans. We'll be all right. Let's get it. Much love to you guys. I'm out of here. Peace.
Feeling like I won the lotto. Always taking trips with a new chick, asking where the time goes. And I wonder if this is all I'll know.